What's up, guys? Prince Sports here. Now, there's a lot of debate videos in sports, right? But arguably the most debatable sport is probably none other than basketball. And the most common debate that you get is Michael Jordan versus LeBron James. Why, you ask? Michael Jordan is regarded as the greatest basketball player of all time, and LeBron James is regarded as the best player in today's league. So, as always next man up. Who's the next challenger to try to take Michael's crown for being the best basketball player of all time? Now, when it comes to LeBron James, his argument against Michael Jordan is not that much. It's really not really much of debate in terms of some of the accomplishments. But there is somebody else that can give Michael Jordan a challenge, and that's none other than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Okay, a lot of you say, okay, you want to take LeBron out the picture? What about Kareem? Can Kareem match up with Michael Jordan in GOAT status? So we're going to break this down in 8 categories, and these 8 categories, we're going to go tit for tat and see who comes out on top. Michael Jordan versus Kareem right now. Now, some of the categories that we're going to go over is scoring, athletic ability, defense, clutch, leadership, impact, one-on-one, and career. Okay, let's get it. The first category is scoring. Now, Kareem has more career points than Michael Jordan, mainly because he played longer than Mike. But what we want to go over is who's does the better scorer, flat out scorer. If I give the ball to Kareem or I give the ball to Jordan, I tell him, go and get me a bucket. Who's more diverse? Who's more of a better scorer? And this is the easy answer. It's Michael Jordan. 10-time scoring champ. The guy could score all different ways on the floor. He could score on bigs. He could score on threes, fours, 2 guards, point guards. And the 10-time scoring champ compared to Kareem's number 2 gives Michael Jordan a big-time edge over Kareem, because Michael got 10 scoring titles in 11 seasons. Would have had more scoring titles if he didn't retire. So, point 1 goes to Michael Jordan. Better scorer, better diverse scorer, more skillful scorer. Period. Michael Jordan. Second category, athleticism. In other words, athletic ability. Now, Michael Jordan was one of the fastest players of his generation. They used to call him the Black Cat. Okay, he used to run track. Kareem is a pretty big guy. Now, he's a center. He plays a 5 position, okay? So speed is not his biggest advantage. So, and jumping ability wasn't his biggest advantage. He could dunk clearly because he was 7 foot. But Mike was 6'6", fast, durability, jumping ability, and he was just athletic to the core. And a lot of players quote they never seen a player like Michael Jordan, because he was always a step ahead of people when it comes to athletic ability, and he was the first of his kind. So before you see the LeBrons, even the Kobes, all these athletic guys that was like freakish, none were more athletic, or none broke ground more than Michael Jordan. So athletic ability definitely goes to Mike. He jumped out of this world, man. This guy was fast and all that other stuff. Third category is defense, okay? Good old defense. Defense wins you championships. Now, this is a bit tricky because Kareem is a better shot blocker, okay? He's a better post-up player when it comes to defense and scoring than Mike, because of the simple fact that he's a center. So you got to give him the edge in the post over Mike. on defense and offense. And Mike wasn't too shabby on offense when it comes to being post-up player. I mean, he was one of the best post-up two guards ever to play basketball. So, but let's stick to the defense. Now, Jordan's defensive ability, he led the league in steals 3 times. He won Defensive Player of the Year, something Kareem never did. He never did neither one of those things. Michael Jordan guarded multiple positions, and sometimes he actually guarded the 5 position when he had to. You could watch videos of him blocking the shots of Patrick Ewing or Hakeem Olajuwon or, David Robinson, a bunch of centers, okay? Alonzo Mourning. Jordan played in a rough defensive era when bigs dominated, and Jordan was like the only perimeter player that had to go up against bigs that had their way because the game was dedicated to them more. All right? And that says a lot, okay? So not only did Mike had to play was more of a diverse defender than Kareem, he also guarded more positions. Kareem was just a guy that guarded the 5. That's all he could guard. Jordan could guard multiple positions. So the edge and the point goes to number 23, Michael Jordan. Okay, our next category is clutch. Okay, this one is a no-brainer for me. Michael Jordan was one of the most devastating clutch basketball players of all time. He struck fear in his opponents. For the iconic shots that he hit over Craig Elo, the pushover shot on Byron Russell, the biggest shot in Chicago Bull history, I might add. Actually, both of those shots are the biggest shots in Chicago Bull history. And that's something that you got to have when you're an iconic player. You know, LeBron James don't own the biggest shot in Cavalier history. That belongs to Kyrie Irving. But it's easy to say Michael Jordan owns the greatest shot in Chicago Bull history. Kareem played for the Lakers and the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, saying the greatest shot in Laker history is kind of hard because Lakers got so much championships. So I can't give him that. Now, Kareem had some clutch moments, but he also got Magic Johnson by his side that had clutch moments just like he did. So I'm giving the edge to Michael Jordan because Michael Jordan was a more diverse clutch player. Okay, being clutch isn't just hitting a jump shot. It's actually stopping your opponent. Sometimes you get a key rebound, a key steal, a key assist. Okay, that's being clutch. And Michael was more clutch than Kareem. So the point, again, goes to Michael Jordan. Okay, leadership is the next category. And I'm going to give that one. It's a little bit tricky, too, before I even give the award to that one. Kareem played with Magic Johnson. Now, Kareem was arguably the better player on the Lakers, but keep in mind, no player on that Laker team was more of a leader than Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson epitomized the meaning of leadership and playmaking. So Magic Johnson was a real leader of that Los Angeles Lakers team, not Kareem. Michael Jordan, on the other hand, was the sole leader of the Chicago Bulls. He pushed his players the same way he pushed himself. And he never asked his teammates to do anything that he wouldn't do. If you've seen the Last Dance documentary, you would know that. And that's documented because his teammates said the very same thing. Scottie Pippen said Michael Jordan pushed him to limits that he didn't know he was capable of. And Michael stayed on Scottie Pippen to make sure that he developed into a good basketball player. So Michael was a little rough around the edges. He led by example, and he led by tough love. But nevertheless, Michael Jordan gets this point for leadership, way over Kareem. Next category is something that all superstar basketball players got to have, and that's impact. All right, now Kareem is probably one of the most underlooked superstars, okay? He doesn't have that charisma to attract a lot of people. Okay, his style of play was a hook shot, kind of boring to the average consumer, okay? Only a diehard basketball fan would appreciate Kareem, like myself. But no player had a bigger impact than Michael Jordan. I mean, The guy started his own brand, for Christ's sakes, okay? Michael Jordan, hands down, had bigger impact than Kareem, globally, internationally, and took the game to heights that has never been taken to before, okay? He made basketball famous. So all you guys that get big paychecks, the LeBrons, the Kevin Durants, you owe a big thank you for Michael Jordan for pushing the envelope and making basketball a global sport, more famous than it ever was. And to this day, you could go in any country and everybody knows who Michael Jordan is, all right? Here in the Philippines, people know Michael Jordan. Any country you go to, people know Michael Jordan. He has the most impact than any superstar ever in basketball. All right, now the next one is a bit tricky too as well. It's one-on-one, okay? Okay, now you get two guys that play two complete different positions. Kareem's a 5, Michael's a number 2, okay? I think that comes down to who's better one-on-one. When we say one-on-one, we mean individual matchups. Now, I think Michael gets the edge in this because of the simple fact that Mike took on individual challenges way more than Kareem did. And it was something that Mike looked forward to, okay? He would hold grudges against anybody that said anything against him. Or if somebody happened to outplay Mike one game, he would mark that on his calendar, and he would look for that one-on-one. And one-on-one, you know, a.k.a. Black Jesus, a.k.a. the Black Cat, that's what they call him. He was devastating one-on-one. The most unstoppable one-on-one scorer, the only shooting guard in NBA history to shoot over 50% from the field multiple times, okay? None other than Mike. Kareem has some 50 percentage from the field seasons, but he's a center, and most of his shots came around the basket. Mike was doing it all when it comes to scoring, and Mike's skill set one-on-one is way better than Kareem. So Mike gets the edge in this one. All right, the Hat King is back. You notice all the other videos, each category, I got a different hat. So this is the last category. Okay, this comes down to career, all right? Legacy, career, all that good stuff. Now, Kareem, I said he was underlooked, right? He has a great career, okay? He has just as much championships as Michael Jordan, less finals MVPs, less individual accomplishments, and less individual dominance. Jordan, in the 13-year span, had more dominance than Kareem, even though Kareem played longer. And he has a longevity award. But he kind of slowed down, and his body was beat up in the later years of his career. Okay, so it's not like, you know, he was setting the world on fire in his later years of career. And if Michael played as long as Kareem, Michael would easily have that #1 record for leading scorer of all time. But Mike wasn't about trying to pad his stats to be the #1 leader in scoring. He just wanted to win. And legacy-wise, Mike is known as the GOAT, greatest basketball player of all time, and I don't think that title will ever change. So it may change if somebody comes along, but it's going to be real hard because you have to outbeat Mike on the court and off the court. And here's a look at some of Mike's accomplishments. I got it posted up right here. So as you can see, Michael Jordan was the man. And out of all these categories, Mike just mopped the floor with Kareem. I tried to get much categories possible that I think Kareem could possibly win in, but I couldn't think of none. So maybe if you could put it in the comment section and tell me what category you think Kareem will have the edge over Michael in. But other than this fact, for all you Kareem fanboys, or you people that think Kareem is better than Mike, in the words of Rob Parker, no way, no how, and no really legitimate proof to back that up. So, with that being said, Prince Sports out, and as usual, keep it 3000. Peace.